This is a Sports Catastrophe production.
Hey there, hey there, hey there. It's Jeff Cutastrophe and welcome you to another Sports Catastrophe on this day. And on this day, June 16, 1995, it was a good day if you were a member of Salt Lake City, Utah. And not so great day if you were a citizen of Quebec City, Quebec. As in tradition, at that point, they would announce the Olympic winners, the hosts of the Olympics, 7 years before they were scheduled to start. For context, in 2003, in July 2nd, 2003, was when Vancouver was given the nod to be the 2010 Winter Olympics winner and all that. And in July 2005, that's when we found out London won the 2012 Summer Games from Paris. So anyway, it was a huge battle. There were 9 cities that wanted to host the Olympics. Austria had Graz, a popular city in Austria, not named Vienna or Innsbruck. Spain went with Jaca. It was weird how Spain, wanted to host the Winter Olympics, and Spain doesn't really have a Winter Olympics program, if you will. Slovakia brought a pop rod. Russia sent Sochi to try to get the 2002 Olympics, although Sochi would get the Winter Olympics in 2014 and actually become kind of shit, if you will. And Treviso in Italy, trying to give Italy a Winter Olympics to be happy with. But those countries weren't on the ballot, were on the short list. There were 4 cities that were going to try for the 2002 Winter Olympics. Sion, Switzerland, Sion. Surprised it was in Zurich or Geneva, but anyway, yeah. Östersund, Sweden, which actually makes sense for Sweden, and Quebec City, Canada, and Salt Lake City, United States. So a lot of people said that, those were popular tourist attraction places and all that. It was weird for Switzerland and Sweden not to have like high profile cities hosting. Well, with their spots, Sion and Osterland really weren't much. Ostersund really weren't in everyone's lexicon, but Quebec City and Salt Lake City were. America was trying to get their first Winter Olympics since Lake Placid in 1980, which was shocking because Lake Placid hosted a pretty good Olympics. It was a little bit controversial because, the Soviets were still at the 1980 Winter Olympics because in lieu of their putting on Afghanistan. But remember, this was too little too late to cancel Soviets' chances for the Winter Games. And, it was good. Canada was looking for their second Winter Olympics in history. They hosted the 1988 Olympics in Calgary, which were a big hit, despite the fact Canada couldn't win a gold medal. So they thought Quebec City would be big. Quebec City had a lot of francophone power, more so than English. Well, whatever. They were the nationalist city. Montreal's more francophone, bilingual. But Quebec City hosted one of the biggest events, actually 2 of the biggest events. One was the Quebec City Pee Wee Hockey Tournament, and number 2 was the famous Carnival in February, brought about a lot of people from around the world. Salt Lake City was basically in the Utah like the mountains of the Rockies. So basically, it was huge for Utah and all that to get the games and all that. A lot of people had speculated that Salt Lake City wasn't going to get in because Salt Lake City's in Utah and they have the Mormon faith, and basically the Mormons are more of polygamy faith than Christianity and all that. So basically, yeah, the Mormon faith really had all about different multiple wives or multiple husbands, and also the fact that they really frowned upon a lot of things. If you go to BYU or you're alumnus of BYU, basically that school is rough on you. Basically, you have to sign a pledge, and you have to basically can't do a lot of things. Some of them was easy, but some are like unbelievable. I remember Jimmer Fredette being kicked off BYU squad for something very small, and then I basically almost went online and just said Mormons are morons, if you will. So anyway, it was time to announce the 2002 Winter Olympics. In Budapest, they would vote on the winner throughout many ballots and all that. If one city got more votes in the first round than the other cities combined, basically they had more than 50% of the vote, they would get in automatically. They wouldn't have to throw out the worst city and basically by votes and basically, all that. So the votes came in. Quebec City got 7 votes. Ostersund got 14. Sion got 14. Salt Lake City got 54. So Salt Lake City on the first ballot got enough votes to win the Olympics in 2002. This was unspeakable. How did Quebec City botch it? I don't think it was their fault or anything, but still. Oh dear. Worse for Quebec City is that they had to deal with their hockey team leaving a month prior as it was sold to Denver. So this was another insult to the people of Quebec City, especially with the fact that for the second straight time, someone from the Rocky Mountain area of the United States have fucked them over. Unfortunately, we will soon learn that Salt Lake City won the Olympics under false pretenses. Basically, it was all about bribery and trying to help out delegates from Africa and Asia and, the non-winter countries, if you will. They were, at all costs, they needed to bring it to Salt Lake City. Basically, bribery was huge. It was not reported until 1999 that this whole kid and caboodle had happened with Salt Lake City winning the Olympics that way. There were rumors that they were going to strip Salt Lake City and maybe put another country to get the Olympics, but basically they couldn't do it. And Salt Lake City somehow, in some way, got to host the 2002 Winter Games and all that. It was controversial. 10 IOC members had to resign. Salt Lake City bid leaders had to resign, but Salt Lake City still hosted it. However, from a sporting and business standpoint, this was actually successful. Records were set in broadcasting and marketing and all that. So, yeah, that was kind of awful and all that. The 2002 Winter Games did provide some decent moments for Americans, but for other countries, not so much. The good, the bad, and the ugly with Canada. The good, obviously, Canada won their first Olympic hockey gold medal in 50 years. I know they had to use professionals, but still, the Americans weren't an easy team either. The bad was basically, not getting as many medals as we anticipated. But the ugly was obviously the 2002 pair skating the figure skating competition. Jamie Salé and David Pelletier basically put on a great performance in the figure skating thing. Even NBC, who actually they won the bid to host the Olympics, and I think every Olympics has been held since 2002, Salt Lake City, that NBC's done. Otherwise, it has been CBS. No, NBC I think did Sydney 2000, but yeah. NBC is the Olympic network for a reason. So anyway, NBC had everything. And Scott Hamilton, working on the NBC broadcast, said that basically they earned enough to get in. The Americans were cheering for us. But then the scores in the ordinals, Canada lost 5-4 on first place votes to the Russian pair. And the Russian pairs had stumbled a few times during the performances. So that wasn't right. It was soon realized that the French Ice Skating Federation basically was the cause of this. The main guy decided to have Marie Ren Legault, or whatever her name is, who was one of the judges for the Paris figure skating competition, said that basically give Russia first place so that the Russian judge will give the French pair better marks in the ice dance competition. Basically, the cat was out of the bag, and even though that Canada, They could not strip the Russian pair. They decided to get the Canadian pair from silver to gold. So basically, that was good in a sense. There was actually a silver lining because figure skating changed their judging stuff, and basically they changed the way they produce points and all that. It was a new system, and the French judge arrogantly said that basically, thanks to her, I made a mistake. Now figure skating judging is much better. What a tart. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. Adieu.